when they interviewed Glenn Ford in that hour-long conversation, why did they not question him about the pawn slip?
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
Why did they never question him about the pawn slip?
Well,
why did they not ask him, why did you use a false address on the pawn slip? And what were you pawning from Dorothy's apartment? They never questioned that. And that goes back to yesterday's hearing, where the judge is asking Sarah Sammy, did you investigate these alleged witnesses? And the question is, the answer is no.
She said no.
Not only is it no, it's that the police aided and helped Glenn Ford sell Dorothy's property, including light bulb cameras, an Alexa system, a Google Nest camera. I mean, you're talking about an alleged double homicide crime scene.
Well, to find out,
unbelievable.
To find out, the prosecutor wants to she told the judge yesterday that she never looked into those individuals that are being used.
Why not?
Well, the real question is, how do you really find that out? Because according to the body cam, through the body cams, you see that those police officers are updating Prosecutor Sarah Sammy every step of the way.
Every step of the way.
Prosecutor Sarah Sammy wants to say she has no idea that the children are being weaponized against Mostafa, that witnesses are being tampered with. I mean, Investigator Davis is telling Glenn Ford, the ex-boyfriend, we need you. We need to get our ducks in a row. We need to get Mostafa off the street. Sarah Sammy wants to say, I had no idea. Well, to get to the bottom of it, you should release the communication that Prosecutor Sarah Sammy had with those investigators.
As well as the alleged witnesses.
As well as the alleged witnesses. Now, yesterday, Judge Carol Weimer denied that motion to go through because the defense attorney wanted the communication from the prosecutor with the police, prosecutor with the individuals that are being used as witnesses. Why are you, as a judge, as a presiding judge, that's listening to children being weaponized by the police, individuals being used as fake witnesses, evidence being destroyed and tampered with, allegations that the prosecutor is involved? Because through the body cam, that's how you know she's involved. They're updating her. Why would you deny the release of the prosecutor communication? Unless you're protecting that prosecutor, unless you're protecting those police officers.
And I'll tell you, by law, the prosecutor's communication has to be released to the defendant and his attorney, because we know that these alleged witnesses, they were on social media. And what were they saying a lot on social media? They would say, first thing Monday morning, I'm calling the prosecutor. First thing on this day, I'm going to call the prosecutor. So we know for a fact that Glenn Ford, Evelyn Horton,
and we have those recordings,
Kylie Clapp, okay, they were in direct communication with Sarah Sammy. And I mean direct communication. They have her cell phone number. They were texting this prosecutor back and forth. And that's where these alleged accusations came up about me buying a rifle and 1,000 rounds. I mean,
that's right. Prosecutor Sarah Sammy is accusing you.
They were openly talking about that.
An AR-15 and 1,000 rounds.
And she retracted that statement. But I would like to know, not only do I like to know, but I think by law that has to be given to Mostafa's attorney. Where did you get that information? Who sent you that message? Okay, and that's why Sarah Sammy and any prosecutor in this case, their communications with alleged witnesses is considered exculpatory evidence, because what did these alleged witnesses tell the prosecutors? What kind of conversation was Kylie Clapp having with Rob Davis? We know she's on speed dial on his phone. Prosecutor yesterday.
We have a body cam where, by the way, how is he on speed dial with 16-year-old Kylie when he's not part of the Children Forensic Unit?
Not only that, but what
the Children Forensic Unit is supposed to handle the children.
What the prosecutor said yesterday, what Sarah Sammy said to Judge Weimer, is a flat-out lie. She tells the judge that only forensic psychologists who are trained to deal with minors are the only ones that communicated with the children.
Well,
and
we know
that is a lie.
We know that's not true, because in the forensic interview,
I mean, you literally have a body cam. You have a body cam.
Let me play the body cam. I think this is relevant to the conversation.
I think you should pull up the body cam. You have a body cam where Rob Davis, by the way, the same Rob Davis who was phoned by Kathy Zymas from Digital Forensics, of her findings that there is audio to the dash cam. That's who she called, Rob Davis. The same Rob Davis, by the way, who asked Rob Sermon, did you do anything inappropriate to the car? And he said, yes. Okay? The same Rob Davis who told Officer Rob Sermon, as the vehicle is getting inspected, that they had an idea about this case that they should employ, and it's going to cost money. What exactly did you do with your money, Rob Davis?
Absolutely.
And who pitched into this jar of money that went in to smear Mostafa, okay, to falsify this entire case, to cover up evidence, to sell evidence at a pawn shop? And
I mean, specifically, where are the
it.
cameras that's in? I mean, when you have individuals that are being used as witnesses in the Mostafa Al-Jazari case that went into the apartment only to delete the Google Nest cameras and the light bulb cameras inside the apartment, and now on the other end, you have the police weaponize the children, walk them into a forensic interview, only to have those children say bad things about Mostafa.
Look,
weaponize the children against Mostafa. When you're deleting the cameras inside the house,
you can't make
and now
this shit up.
And now they're upset because we have the Google Nest videos, and it shows that the children have been weaponized.
Not only that, but prosecutor, the first thing she
That is
said,
a beautiful relationship inside the apartment.
the first thing prosecutor Sarah Sammy said in court when Mostafa was arrested, she says, Your Honor, Mostafa was abusive to these kids. This is an abusive house, okay?
She says, Your Honor, I have two separate forensic interviews that will show that Mostafa, that the children are saying Mostafa have abused them, abused their mother.
Okay, let's take that. Okay, let's take that at face value, okay? You claim, the prosecutor claims Mostafa was abusive. Now, anybody, you don't have to be in law enforcement, anybody, when you know or when you find out that there was cameras in the apartment, what do you think the next step for police should be?
Definitely not kick you out of the Commonwealth Attorney office and threaten you with the sheriff for providing her with those cameras.
I mean, definitely not let someone steal and sell the cameras to a pawn shop.
Absolutely.
Okay? Definitely not let someone, who's not on the lease, by the way, go into that apartment and clean it out. Definitely not that.
So they let the ex-boyfriend, Glenn Ford, Kylie, the 16-year-old, who doesn't live with her mom, doesn't live at the apartment, lives with her dad.
She's not on the lease.
She's not on the lease. She's separated by CPS. Doesn't know anything, only to come in to manufacture lies about Mostafa, only to come in, allowed by the police to delete the cameras inside the apartment. And when you got your hand on the Google Nest videos, you went to the Commonwealth Attorney, Amy Ashworth.
Yeah, I went to the Commonwealth Attorney and I attempted to give her these videos. And by the way, honestly, I was thinking the prosecutor is lying. Maybe she doesn't know. Maybe she doesn't know. She's saying all these negative things about Mostafa. And I was able to log into his iCloud and download the Google Nest videos from his iCloud that were inside the apartment. And I have days of videos, days. This camera is on continuous recording. Anytime there's motion, it picks up a recording. And I came into this office behind you, the Commonwealth Attorney's office, and I'm there to give her videos to tell her the prosecutor, I think, doesn't know. The information she's given to the courts is inaccurate. And I have videos to prove it. And I was threatened that I was going to get forcefully removed by the sheriff's office if I did not leave. The prosecutor does not want to talk to me. The Commonwealth Attorney will not be talking to me. Give it to your lawyer. That's what she says. Give it to your lawyer. We gave all the videos to Casey Stevens, and Casey Stevens buried them. He buried those videos.
That's right. Casey Stevens Casey Stevens is the first attorney, defense attorney that we hired into this case. And we found out that he has a relationship with the investigator, Robert Drum, that falsified Mostafa's statement.
I want that video.
Casey Stevens.
I want the video where Rob Davis is on speed dial.
Let me play that video for you.
Because that's going to implicate the prosecutor into lying in court. She's openly lying to Judge Weimer. I wonder what Judge Weimer feels about that.
Yeah, because
I wonder how a judge feels when a prosecutor flat out lies to him.
That's right. She told Judge Weimer that the children were never the police never spoke to the children. The only time the children were spoken with is in the forensic interview. We have the body cams from the forensic interview, and the children are talking about that police investigator told them a whole bunch of lies about Mostafa, influencing and weaponizing these children against Mostafa. And who's saying it? The children themselves.
And to add to that, in the police reports, it states that investigator Romero did an outstanding job interviewing the children. Yeah, and then in another body cam, okay, Romero says to the dad, the children's dad, what's his name?
Divine Jones.
He tells Divine that I record all of my interactions. Anytime I'm talking to anybody, I record. So we would like to know, since Romero dealt with the kids and he's being praised for his outstanding work with the children, where are the recordings?
Where are the body cams when he handled a 9, a 10, a 14, and a 16?
Where are the recordings?
These are children. You want to tell me as a forensic unit, you sat down with children without having body cams?
That's crazy. Why would you not record these videos?
And why is it so terrifying for Prosecutor Sarah Sammy to release the communication between her and the police officer and the individuals that are being used as witnesses?
I'll tell you why. Because the police spoke to the children prior to their forensic interview with the psychologist. So what did the police do? You have Romero, you have Drum, you have Davis. All of these officers, these top investigators, are abusing these children. They're trying to hammer in this narrative that Mostafa crashed the car on purpose, killed your mom and sister, and he fled the scene. He left your sister to bleed to death. Imagine telling that to a child and then saying, okay, run along now, go into this forensic interview and do your thing. Okay? They thought this information was never going to get out. It's in the reports. You know, if you lie, you're going to have to constantly remember your lie. Okay? And in this case, they lied and the narrative keeps changing.